Yeah. This new second season of Chain Soldier is not good. Yeah. New season of Chain Soldier. I'm 9 episodes deep as of me recording this video, and I'm honestly, truthfully gonna just talk about it now because my feelings about the show as we're going deeper into the end is honestly not gonna change by a long shot. So again, Chain Soldier. This is the follow-up to the same show, the same name, to come out back in 2024 by a different studio at the time, which was Seven Arc Studios. And when this show first came up back in 2024, I, for one, even pointed out in my worst animes of 2024 list that this was like the most disappointing, just nonchalant anime I've come to see of that year. And the reason why was pretty simple, and I'll even regurgitate as to why this was bad. Because in that show's defense, given that it had a nice, really cool, simple premise itself, it completely spoiled the momentum and the motivations of main characters and why they are in the world at large from the third episode alone, and it completely just loses that momentum towards the very end. Yes, there were some nice fan service moments. Yes, there were some really good animation and fight sequences moments. And again, Seven Arcs did the best they can to adapt this manga series itself, but it wasn't without its faults, right? So when the season two was announced inevitably, I was a little skeptical when I went to check this out and gave it a shot. And the fact that there was also big news that it's not going to be under Seven Arc Studios, it's going to be under Passion and Hayabasa Films, like doing collaboration work for the second season. It definitely left me with a little bit of hope that this time around is going to be a lot better. But I think after watching these 9 episodes here, I honestly don't think my mood's going to change. This show, to me, is slightly underwhelming, and at times really disappointing. Now, credit where credit's due, I will say that at least this time around, there are some really good highlights in the show before I dive deep into what's wrong. For starters, our main character, Himari Azuma, who was a pretty key figure in the first season, we could see a lot of growth, a lot of character development with her, especially her fight against the Ozma clan to prove that who's going to be the next head of the Ozma. And obviously, my favorites in that Ozma clan is like Fubuki, who's like the big sis of the whole bunch. I thought that was really cool, a really cool little like side quest journey to showcase that Himari has improved, she has matured, and we're seeing that her powers, with combined with Yuki's powers, was able to elevate her to the next level. Also, the introduction of Ren Yamashiro, who is the head co-founder of the Squad Lean group that fights against the Shukis itself, was really nice, especially considering that she's the main girl in the poster that you see plastered throughout the entire franchise itself. She had a lot of shoes to fill, and I gotta say, the voice actors who voice acted Ren did an absolutely incredible job, and her powers are easily my favorite new powers I come across in this second season thus far. And everyone else here plays a role respectfully too. And the last couple that we can get out of the way is a new character that I came across in today's episode and the past couple episodes with Mira. And Mira's character is one of those characters that you kind of know and remember in a lot of your classic cliche shonen type animes, and I thought that was really cool. I thought that her character is really nice, really relatable, especially towards the very end where we get to see like the biggest gut punch ever that really hurt me the most, especially for someone that just loved Mira towards the very end. But with that being said, despite the fact that the animation is much better this time around, despite the fact that it's not repeating the same mistakes that the first season did, I feel like the show is still, unfortunately, just repeating the same things over and over again. It's sticking with the same formula over and over again, where I swear to God, every episode in this second season starts off where it's like, okay, let's see what happens now. What is our boy Yuki gonna go through? And then after a little bit of training montage, then he just goes through this reward process. If you know how Chain Soldier works in the reward process, and it's the most fan service stuff out there. Which again, fan service galore. Like there are times where like it's like borderline hentai, and I like that. But then when it keeps repeating that same formula over and over and over again, it's like hey guys, do you not remember what you're doing this for? Like, I understand there's like a train montage here, but I thought we got the square the fuck off in the previous season, if I'm not mistaken. Because like if I remember correctly, don't get me wrong here. I thought that in the beginning of the second season, it's like, okay, we gotta find the Thunder Gods and defeat them so that no other Shukis will spawn in the other dimension ever again or something, right? But throughout this second season, it just feels like a long winded training montage for the sake of a training montage. Again, I like the developments as to why this was necessary, right? But it felt like we're getting nowhere at all with this show. Yes, we're finally getting something with today's ninth episode with what happened with Mira and one of the Thunder Gods that finally reveals her true form, her true self. That's nice, but I feel like this was way, way too late, especially when you consider that when you remember back in the first season, it was teasing the Thunder Gods and that was going to be the next big thing to explode the second season. So I don't know, man. This show to me, I was left pretty disappointed, honestly, truthfully. Like it definitely is a lot better than the first season, first and foremost, and I'm gonna continue watching this show all the way to the end. But I'm still left here like really disappointed, wondering, man, this could have been much better story wise because this just felt like another huge roadblock at the very beginning, and now going towards the very end of the show, we're finally getting some building blocks put together and the plot finally going through something, not just this weird one-dimensional training montage left or right. Instead, like we're getting these things happening too fast, too late, and it's pretty apparent that however the hell this was structured, this doesn't feel right at the end of the day. So yeah, Chain Soldier season two. This was sadly really disappointing in my view. I think that at the end of the day, this is definitely one of the best trashier animes of the year with the fan service galore. Sometimes again being born like hentai, but I definitely walk away from this just wondering like, man, this could have been something more. This could have been something a lot like this could have been like anime of the year contender right here. But now I'm just left like, it's fine, but I'm just tired of the same, like copy and paste, repeat episodes. And currently, as it stands, I really don't think nothing's going to change on my mind on this. I'm gonna probably give this like a strong five, maybe a light six on this show. That's really all I have to say about it. This could have been much better. I'm just disappointed, but who knows? Maybe people will like this show and will be impressed by it either way, no matter what. Either way, that's your opinion. But anyway, that's it. Just want to talk about Chain Soldier season two, and yeah, that's it. See you on the next one later.